Starting the coffee with the chopsticks of truth using the vortex method, the only true way to optimize the taste of your coffee at the molecular level. Good morning. Welcome to the Daybreak Show. I am the Sultan. We'll get started. But first, Cafe, what's it called? You know, the Cuban stuff. This stuff here, Cafe Bustelo. Honestly, it's pretty good. It's pretty good. I think it's a little bit more expensive than regular instant coffee, but this is instant espresso, so it's got some balls to it. You'll like it. You will like it. Well, our movement looks good. Not just the fact that we're not rainbow-haired, mystery meat-eating obeseoids. We are on the side of beauty, truth, and order. The representatives of man and his destiny need not be teenage debate team rejects and pocket-sized smart alecks who can't get their wives wet, or warmongering sellouts to the highest bidder, or whatever the mainstream conservacucks would have you believe. I love that writing. That's from Raw Egg Nationalist. Guess what? The magazine came in. It's actually an annual. What it is, they took the four issues of last year and put them into a bound book called Man's World 2021. I will get this every year. It's probably, I'm thinking, probably the most manly, masculine magazine I have ever read in my life. It just reminds me of men's magazines, you know, from the 60s and 70s. It's just very, very masculine, with no chance of leftism. Just look it up, Man's World 2021. It's put out by Raw Egg Nationalist, who wrote the Raw Egg trilogy, which I'm absolutely loving. But just stories, pictures, muscle cars, horror, how to dress well, the deep state, just things like classic men's styles, you know, stuff like this, you know, like khakis and a blue shirt, like just classic man stuff. It's interesting, very interesting. I want to savor it over the next year. I'm not going to sit down and pound it out like a novel or a book. But if you get a chance, I believe the price was like $48, which comes out to $12 per issue, because it came out 4 times last year. But I like the annual, the yearbook, they call it. I'm just having a ball reading this. I forgot to show that to you before. There is an online version. Okay, if you can't get the printed hard copy, the last resort would be the online flip book, which just isn't the same. There's nothing like holding a real book made for real men, holding it in your hands, reading it, getting inspired. Push-ups, planks, pull-ups, deep knee bends, or what some people, well, my generation would call them deep knee bends. Many people now would call them body weight squats. Dips, parallel bar style, where your hands are literally at your side. Okay, bring together 2 picnic tables, you know what I'm saying? Bring together 2 crates, or, you know, those, I forget what they call those big plywood boxes that they use in CrossFit. You know, the huge wooden boxes that they jump up on. You put them, bring them together, and then you can do your squats, or not squat, you could do your dips. And when you do your dips, your hand, I've got a little stain right there. What is that? That's probably the bean soup right there. Your hands are at your side. Your hands are at your side, like that, on the 2 boxes. Bringing yourself down. Push up, push-up, okay? As opposed to doing them with your hands behind you. You've seen this before, where a lot of people will do dips on a chair with their hands behind them, and they're just doing this. That will mess up your shoulders so fast. Talking the real dips on parallel bars or 2 tables or 2 chairs where your hands are just at your side, not behind you, okay? Push-ups, planks, pull-ups like this, or a little wider and bring them up like that. Dips, parallel bar style, start with 1 rep a day. One. Okay? If you're new to it, well, this is what I was going to say. 1 rep a day on your first day. Second day, 2 reps. Third day, 3 reps, and keep increasing. If you're new to it, I want you to do 1 push-up every day this week. Just 1. Every day this week. 1. Perfect shape. You've seen in my videos how to do perfect push-ups. Okay? 1. Every day for a week. Next week, 2. 1. 2. And you do all those exercises. Just 2. The next week, you do 3 every day. The next week, you do 4 every day. That's manageable. It's realistic. You're not going to get discouraged. The ones that you're probably going to have the hardest time with are, most likely, is going to be the pull-ups, chin-ups, pull-ups, and the dips. You're going to have a hard time with that. When it comes to the deep knee bends or body weight squats, feet at about shoulder width, toes pointing out just slightly, and if you have to, have a chair nearby or a table where your hand is just touching, so you don't, as you learn how to gain balance and create that balance where you can do it without like tipping over or losing balance. But the form has to be perfect. I like the idea of doing, there's a couple different type of body weight squats that I like. One is where as you go down, your hands go straight out. Okay? So, let me see if I can demonstrate it for you. Okay, so you're going to go down like this. All right, now watch. As you go down, you're going to do this. 1, 2. Now, if your knees are clicking, go down slower and don't go down as far. I go down so my butt is, I'll tell you how far the butt is from the floor. My butt is probably 4 to 6 inches from the floor. Yeah. So this is the more advanced one when you go like this. Okay, but if you're new to it, don't be afraid to have one hand on a table, a windowsill, so you don't lose your balance and get discouraged. So you will just go like this. Okay, knock out 1. Next, 1 a day. Next week, 2 a day. And I'm talking to those who've never, ever exercised. The next level up would be kind of like what I do is I do these right here. And feet a little wider than shoulder width, toes pointing outward. And once you get your balance down, this is what you do. 1, 2. But what you're not doing is going up and down so fast that you're cracking joints and popping joints. Because if you're not used to it, you can actually hurt yourself. I'm not talking to the guys that are hitting the gym every day, because I know not everyone who watches this is a gym bro. What I want you to do is to slowly get yourself out of the darkness, out of the funk, out of the control that you've been in, that you've been victimized in the past 2 years by the control, the darkness, okay? The dome of darkness. The way that you break out of that is to take care of this right here. You need to look different. For the past 2 years, you've looked the same as everybody else. Okay? Look different. Remember, our movement, our group of people, of awakened people, look different. We respond different. We act different. We're not depressed. We fortify ourselves so the news doesn't get us down, so the restrictions of the day don't get us down. We not only just have an opinion, but we back it up with what we have here. And we back it up with what we have here. You got me? So, that being said, walk daily. If you walk, how many years have I been telling you to walk 25% faster? 6 years, haven't I? 6 years. This is all super basic, but in 1 month, think about this. February, possibly, I don't know if it's going to be, it very well could be the coldest month of the year, February. What a great month. Think about it. What a great month to get yourself into shape when everyone else is fat, sluggish, depressed, freaking out from every new restriction and crouching under fear, eating mystery meat. Come on. Do the opposite, exact opposite. And you're not only going to survive, you're going to thrive. So by summer, you're going to look like a Greek statue. You can do this. You got this. You will have a more peaceful life when you stop trying to red pill and convince people of anything. If they want to know, they will come to you. The satanic fuckers did a pretty good job of dividing the nation, the workplace, and the family. Keep yourself physically and mentally healthy. The lefties will devour themselves. Just get out of the way as they do it to themselves. Don't let them near you. Just get out of their way. They're all self-destructive freaks and weirdos. You don't want to be part of their train wreck or collateral damage. He who fights with monsters might take care lest he thereby become a monster. And if you gaze for long into an abyss, the abyss gazes also into you. Nietzsche said that. And that's it's kind of a response to the guy who says to me, have you read Nietzsche? Have you ever read Nietzsche? It's like, dude, stop it. Here's a good question for you. What is the big distraction that's going on right now that's taking your eyes off of something else? What's going on in the world right now that's getting all your attention? Making you look here instead of here. Living the awakened life is not just theory, it's a practice. Do any of you find it odd that right now the government is controlling you? Do you find it odd that the government is controlling you with weird-ass restrictions, different cities and states? Some countries are getting rid of restrictions 100%, I guess because, well, I don't even want to get into that, but it's nice being back after a 1-week ban. from YouTube. And right before I got banned for a week, suspended for a week, I was saying, I hate people. I hate people. I would go into the store just like this, and people with their masks on staring at me like I'm a damn criminal. People living in fear. But everybody needs a boogeyman. And who's the boogeyman? The guy who lives freely. The guy who doesn't have chains on him. The guy who's not wearing signs of slavery and submission. Remember what I said a few minutes ago? We look different. The awakened look different. We're hardy. Our skin looks good. We're handsome. We're strong. We look like we're ready to fight or debate, but not convince. We look like we're ready to defend. Look like somebody that nobody wants to fuck with. Period. This is a new era now. It's different than it was 2 years ago. Are you going to crouch? Or are you going to walk tall? What are you going to do? Little reminder for you gentlemen out there. Stop trying to win her back. There's actually people that sell courses on how to win a woman back. Oh my God. Well, I haven't used this in a week. Stop it, guys. Stop it. Stop trying to win her back. It ain't going to happen. Your job is to get you back. You lost yourself in that relationship. Let me just give you a little hint. It's not like she left you to go to a convent and become a nun. Read between the lines there. Let me ask you this. The woman that you married or just started dating is not going to be the same woman that you try to win back. What exactly are you trying to win back? Somebody with wandering eyes and a restless heart? You deserve everything that you're going to get if you do that. Walk away. Perfect the art of walking away. Listen to the flaming chopsticks of truth. I heard one guy this weekend say this. He says, crazy theory, or is it? Joe appoints Kamala to the Supreme Court. Kamala resigns as vice president. Joe appoints Hillary to vice president. Kamala's Senate confirmation fails. Kamala exits the stage. Joe is 25'd or croaks. Hence, we now have a Hillary Clinton presidency. What do you think of that? Like, nothing is too far-fetched anymore, is it? Right? Here's a news release from Fox Business. Pregnant man and pregnant person emojis coming to Apple iPhones. Apple's version of the new emoji were released Thursday as part of the iOS 15.4 beta. Pregnant man and pregnant person. Do you see what I'm saying? Awakened people, we look different. We think different. We laugh at this bullshit. We mock it. And rightfully so. We want beauty, truth, and order. That's what we want. Logos, divine order. You heard me say a couple seconds ago, perfect the lost art of walking away. Walk away from society. Walk away from society. You are different. Now start acting different. Getting your heart crushed makes a man search, right? Man, nothing makes a man search like going through a breakup or divorce. Everything from looking at astrology to praying special prayers to win people back, and lighting candles, and voodoo-ish rituals, and changes, and weird commitments, and bargaining with God, and nothing makes a man do that faster than getting his heart crushed. Many times he ends up in a tribe of lost, hurt, angry men with an angry leader, and they all just become very unlikable while the leader profits, sells books, coaches, and creates more anger-perpetuating content, podcasts, and videos. They might say things like, "He saved my life." I know, I get that sometimes. "You saved my life." I didn't save your life. I didn't save your life. What I did was I inspired you and gave you some tools to pull yourself up out of your dark place. You did it. And good for you. That's what being a man is. So they might say things like, "He saved my life," when all he did was create an environment of co-misery. Some people are like that. Almost like a tribe of bitching hurt men. Well, it's better than hurting, right? I'm not so sure of that. Woman broke my heart. Woman bad. No more going deeper with women. Only use them. Okay? And the black pill cycle of despair starts. So you just have sex with women who are more than willing, and then you bitch and moan that there's no good women out there, and then you live to loathe the very scenario that you created and contributed to. There's no good women out there. Okay, so you just smashed 3 of them this week. You contributed to the conditions of there's no good women out there. It's going to start with you. You blame women for being on the carousel that you operate. It's time to stop the insanity, unplug, separate, and build something for yourself. And you do that through sanity, clarity, and reason. Don't wish it away. Don't look at it like it's forever. Between you and me, I can honestly say that things will only get better. Elton John, 1983. The song is called, I guess that's why they call it the blues. Do you like that song? I do. I love this phrase by R.C. Sproul. What makes art Christian art? Is it simply Christian artists painting biblical subjects like Jeremiah? Or by attaching a halo? Does that suddenly make something Christian? Must the artist's subject be religious to be Christian? I don't think so. There is a certain sense in which art is its own justification. If art is good art, if it is true art, if it is beautiful art, then it is bearing witness to the author of the good, the true, and the beautiful. That's from R.C. Sproul. Publication was called Life Views, Make a Christian Impact on Culture and Society. I'll never forget when this first came out. The dystopians even attempted to control your sex life. This is from the Montgomery County Office of Public Health, where I live. And this is when all the craziness first started. All Montgomery County residents should stay home and minimize contact with others to reduce the spread of Wooga Booga. Be cautious in using these tests to make decisions about who you will have sex with and what kind of sex you have, since antibody test results are not definite proof of immunity. That's a lie. Take care during sex. Kissing can easily pass the virus. Avoid kissing anyone who is not part of your small circle of close contacts. Are you kissing more than one person? I guess you are, because we're talking about sex here. The topic is sex and Wooga Booga. Item number 2, rimming. Mouth on anus might spread the virus. Virus in feces may enter into your mouth and could lead to infection. All right, so no tossing salad. First time I heard that phrase, that made me laugh. But no rimming. No rimming. Remember that. Number 3, wear a face covering or a mask. Wait, during sex? Maybe it's your thing, maybe it's not, but during Wooga Booga, wearing a face covering that covers your nose and mouth is a good way to add a layer of protection during sex. How fucking weird is this? Seriously. How? This is actually a government publication. This is not a skit from Saturday Night Live. Wearing a mask during sex adds a layer of protection during sex. Heavy breathing and panting can spread the Wooga Booga further. And if you or your partner have the Wooga Booga and don't know it, a mask can help stop the spread. All right, number 4, make it a little kinky. Ooh, the government's telling us about how to have sex. It must be good, right? Be creative with sexual positions and physical barriers like walls. What? Like walls? That allow sexual contact while preventing close face-to-face contact. Be creative with sexual positions and physical barriers like walls. How you gonna have sex with a wall in between you? You gonna, what, like put a hole in the wall? Are they talking about glory holes here? What the heck? What is that all about? Who wrote this? What rainbow-haired freak wrote this? Number 5, masturbate together. Use physical distance and face coverings to reduce the risk. All right, so who's doing who? Are you doing yours? Each are doing themselves in front of each other? Or you're doing it to each other? I have no idea. Next one. Condoms and dental dams can reduce contact with saliva, semen, or feces during oral or anal sex. Click here to find out how to get free, safer sex products. Of course, it's the government giving away everything. First of all, nothing's free. Somebody's paying for it, and it's you. It's your damn taxes. But here's the government teaching. Here's the government teaching us. You want to reduce contact with saliva, semen, or feces during oral or anal sex. And lastly, washing up before and after sex is more important than ever. Wash hands with soap and water for at least 20 seconds. Wash sex toys with soap and warm water. And disinfect keyboards and touch screens that you share with others. What's that got to do with sex? Washing up before and after sex. So, all right, disinfect keyboards and touch screens under washing up after sex. So I guess they're talking about virtual sex, like you have your hand on the mouse or touchpad on your PC and the other hand on your sexual apparatus. When the government gets involved in your sex life, it's weird. Don't forget that. And with that, finish your coffee. Wash your hands with warm soapy water, too. Finish your coffee, and I'll see you on the next Daybreak Show, your home of sanity, clarity, and reason in a increasingly insane, mad world.